Welcome to Anfield Central, where Liverpool news never sleeps and neither do the rumours. Tonight, two huge stories are dominating the headlines. One player has admitted Liverpool made me an offer on transfer deadline day, but I turned them down. And despite the window officially closing, Liverpool are being told they could still complete 4 more deals in the next 24 hours. But that's just the start. Behind the scenes, a £60 million hijack has quietly reshaped Liverpool's defensive future, while one academy favourite has just seen a brutal decision made on his next move. And when Jamie Carragher gets involved in a Neville debate, you already know it's explosive. There's also growing noise around who could one day replace Mohamed Salah and why one Europe's giants is suddenly watching a Liverpool star very closely. If you want the full story, the real context and what it all means for this season, make sure you're subscribed. This one gets serious fast.
Liverpool could be facing fresh interest from Real Madrid, with another key name now emerging on the Spanish giants' radar. After seeing Trent Alexander-Arnold leave for the Bernabeu last summer, attention may be turning back to Anfield once again. Real Madrid are understood to be monitoring Alexis McAllister, with the Argentine midfielder still highly rated inside the club. During Carlo Ancelotti's time in charge, Madrid explored the possibility of a move and, according to reports, received positive internal feedback about his profile and suitability. That interest never turned into a formal approach, but it has not gone away. McAllister's contract situation could now play a role, with just 18 months remaining on his current Liverpool deal, making any future discussions more realistic than before. Since arriving from Brighton in 2023, the 27-year-old has become a central figure for Liverpool. He has already made 129 appearances for the club and scored 17 goals, underlining his importance in both domestic and European competitions. His quality was on full display recently in Liverpool's 6-0 Champions League win over Qarabag, where he scored twice from midfield. After the match, McAllister spoke about his desire to get into attacking areas more often and admitted he was still thinking about the hat-trick opportunity he narrowly missed. Real Madrid's summer plans are not limited to one name, however. Midfield reinforcements are clearly on the agenda, with Como's Nico Paz expected to return through a buyback clause, while AZ's Keys Smith and Crystal Palace's Adam Wharton are also being tracked, though both would command significant fees. Defensive changes are also expected in Madrid. Dani Carvajal is likely to leave this summer, which would leave Trent Alexander-Arnold as their only natural right-back option. The former Liverpool defender has endured an injury-hit debut season in Spain, making just 11 appearances so far. For Liverpool, the situation adds another layer of uncertainty heading into the next transfer window. Whether Real Madrid's interest in McAllister develops into something concrete remains to be seen, but the signals coming from Spain are one to watch closely.
Mohamed Salah's future at Liverpool remains uncertain, and the conversation around a possible successor is starting to grow louder. Despite being fully reintegrated into the squad, questions still surround what comes next after his public outburst ahead of the Africa Cup of Nations. Interest from Saudi Arabia has not gone away, and with that backdrop, Liverpool have been advised to consider a familiar Premier League name if Salah does move on. Former Reds winger Joe Cole believes West Ham and England star Jarrod Bowen could be a strong fit for Anfield. Cole described Bowen as a top-level performer and a key figure at West Ham, praising both his ability and character. He suggested Bowen deserves the chance, at the peak of his career, to compete for trophies and play regularly at the highest level. According to Cole, relegation could be a turning point for West Ham. If the club were to drop down, he feels Bowen would be justified in leaving, and most supporters would understand given his consistent performances for the team. Liverpool were highlighted as a natural destination, especially if Salah's role on the right becomes vacant. Cole pointed to Bowen's versatility, saying he's capable of playing across the front line and adapting to different attacking systems. He also stressed that Bowen's ambition should now come to the forefront. As an established England international, Cole believes Bowen has earned the right to challenge his club's long-term vision and push for Champions League football. Even if West Ham avoid relegation, Cole feels Bowen will still need clarity on the club's direction. With a finite career, he argued that elite players must maximise their opportunities at the highest level. Bowen, now 29, has been a standout figure since joining West Ham from Hull City in 2020. He has made 264 appearances, scored 82 goals, and played a major role in their Europa Conference League triumph in 2023. Although he remains under contract until 2030 with an option for an additional year, the coming summer could prove decisive. Much may depend on West Ham's fate and Liverpool's own plans as they prepare for a potentially transformative transfer window.
Virgil van Dijk has firmly dismissed claims of unrest inside the Liverpool dressing room, insisting the squad remains united despite a difficult and demanding season. The captain says togetherness has not been lost, even with the challenges that have tested the group on and off the pitch. Liverpool's title defence has unravelled, leaving the club sitting sixth in the Premier League and effectively out of the race. Their Carabao Cup exit in the fourth round only added to the pressure during a turbulent first half of the campaign. Away from results, the squad has also been dealing with deep emotional strain following the tragic passing of teammate Diogo Jota. At the same time, new signings have needed time to settle, creating a period of adjustment during a run of poor form. Those factors fueled reports of rifts between players and tension with head coach Arne Slot, who has faced growing criticism. Van Dijk, however, rejected those suggestions and stressed that internal unity has never been in doubt. Reflecting on the criticism, Van Dijk admitted Liverpool simply have not been consistent enough. He acknowledged the scrutiny, but said it is something the squad must accept and move forward from together. He was clear that challenges are part of elite football and that players respond to pressure in different ways. According to Van Dijk, confronting those moments collectively is what strengthens a team rather than divides it. There are also signs of recovery on the pitch, with Liverpool winning their last two matches by an aggregate score of 10-1. Van Dijk believes that resilience, combined with quality, can still drive improvement as the season progresses. Turning to Arne Slot's situation, the Liverpool captain questioned where the criticism is really coming from. He suggested that not all outside opinions deserve attention, whether directed at the manager or the players. Van Dijk also highlighted the growing impact of social media, where perception can swing dramatically from week to week. He warned that navigating that environment is becoming an increasing challenge for modern players and will be even tougher for future generations. French media highlight Jeremy Jacquet to Liverpool price tag worry after latest outing. Jeremy Jacquet was straight back in action for Rennes on Tuesday night, just days after agreeing a £60 million move to Liverpool that will be completed in the summer. The highly rated 20-year-old returned from his Liverpool medical to feature in a French Cup last 16 clash against Marseille, but it proved to be a tough night. Despite being regarded as one of Europe's most promising young defenders, Jacquet's comeback could hardly have started worse. Rennes conceded inside the opening 2 minutes, setting the tone for a difficult evening against a sharp Marseille side. Operating in a back five, Jacquet was part of a Rennes defence that struggled throughout the match. Marseille ran out 3-0 winners, with goals from Amine Gouiri, Mason Greenwood and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang exposing Rennes on transitions and in wide channels. The performance quickly became a talking point in France, with much of the focus placed on Jacquet's £60 million price tag and the scrutiny that now follows him because of his impending move to Liverpool. French outlet GFNF stressed that the fee itself could become a burden. They pointed out that every performance will now be watched closely by Liverpool supporters, adding pressure to a young defender still developing his game. While his willingness to step forward with the ball was noted as a positive, GFNF felt he looked exposed defensively, particularly in the second half when dealing with Greenwood's pace on the counter. Not all assessments were as harsh. West France took a more balanced view, highlighting Jacquet's leadership and responsibility in Rennes' build-up play. Wearing the number 6 shirt, he was deployed as the deepest defender and was tasked with initiating attacks from the back. The newspaper acknowledged a key defensive intervention before half-time and praised his willingness to step up and organise, even in difficult circumstances. However, they also noted positional issues, especially his role in the build-up to Marseille's second goal, and rated his performance 4 out of 10. RFI were more critical, using the match to underline broader defensive problems for Rennes. They described the team's defending as scrappy and highlighted how Marseille repeatedly found space down the same channel. Their analysis focused on Greenwood's runs, noting that Jacquet had been caught upfield for the second goal and appeared frustrated as Rennes failed to adjust. The same vulnerability was exposed again late on, when Greenwood squared for Aubameyang to seal the result.
For Jacquet, the match underlined the reality of his situation. Until his Liverpool move is finalised in the summer, every appearance for Rennes will now be judged through the lens of his transfer fee and future role at Anfield. Liverpool will view this as part of a learning curve for a young defender stepping into the spotlight. How Jacquet responds to this added pressure over the coming months will be closely watched, both in France and on Merseyside.